So today, we have a couple repairs we have to do. After making hay this summer, my last cutting there, whenever we were taking the bales off early in the morning, I noticed something underneath the hood starting to make a little bit of a noise, a little bit of a weird whine, and so I got to looking after we got the bales off the field, and we're wrapping. It looks like the water pump's starting to go. Starting to leak a little bit around it. You can just kind of hear it. So I got a new one, through Hubbis to put on it. So we're gonna get that put on today. So that way, I don't want the water pump to go out. You know, does anybody know that's ever had one go bad? When they go bad, they leak antifreeze everywhere. I'd rather catch it right now when it's just starting to hear that squeal than to run it, and then all of a sudden you're out in the middle of making hay and all of a sudden, boom, there it is. Now you got antifreeze all over the ground and so on. So we're gonna get 5140's oil change, water pump change, and get it refilled with antifreeze. So come along for a ride, let's go. So when changing this water pump, let me get up in here. You go around and lift it up on this side. So these side panels come off of them. They just have these simple little keys in. That one doesn't want to come out. Anyway, so oops, there it goes. Not exactly how I wanted it to come off. Set these down. So this is the water pump right in here. As you can see, it's starting to leak bad now. So that's what we're going to get off. This here, right here, is the pulley. Backsides, it bolts on to the front of the motor, and that's where it spins your water to cool everything. So as you can see, it's starting to go bad, and that's what they do. They start to leak all over the place. So we're going to get a bucket under this, try to catch as much of the antifreeze as we can, and then we'll go from there. Alright, we got the serpentine belt off. Just getting ready to take these two bolts out of the water pump here. We got our good tractor supply bucket underneath it, so that way hopefully it catches a big majority of all the antifreeze, because unfortunately it's going to drain the motor's antifreeze down. It's also probably going to take as much as it wants to out of the radiator as well. So that's why we have new antifreeze to put in it. What we'll do is we will discard this antifreeze in the proper way. So that way there's nothing, hopefully nothing really gets onto the ground. That way we don't have to clean anything up. I got the first bolt out there. Let's see if the second one comes out as easy. I doubt it will. You can kind of hear the bucket starting to take a little bit of water. Hopefully, oh, there it goes. Yep. I knew it was going to go all at one time eventually. And there she went. Okay, big majority of all of it's going into the bucket, so that's a bonus. Alright, we'll wait for that to, like I said, it's just a simple O-ring in there that holds all the, essentially all the antifreeze in. So, like I said, it's probably going to pour out 5 gallons of antifreeze, unfortunately. There she comes. Let's get it all out. There's the old water pump right there. So this is probably an original case part, I'm going to assume. As you can see there, that's where it goes. You can still see the antifreeze running out of it down the front of the motor. It sits back in that housing there. Basically, it pumps the antifreeze through the motor. Pretty self-explanatory when it says a water pump, but that's what it does. 2 bolts, one at the top, up there on the top, one down there at the bottom, and then there'll be a rubber O-ring that goes in there to help seal it off. So let that continue draining out, so that way we're not putting the new one in while it's still draining. So let that drain out. Like I said, it's in the 5-gallon bucket. 95% of it is. So let it drain out, get the new one out and ready. Alright, there's the new one. Of course, it's pretty self-explanatory, it's pretty new. And there's the old one. There's not much difference between the two. Like I said, that's probably original Case International part, and this come from Huffis. Now, I thought I had the camera recording. We got the new pump in. We haven't got the serpentine belt on, but the new pump's in. I can definitely feel that the bearing is a lot tighter. Yeah, I can still move it. Still good and tight though. So, but everything seems good. Everything tightened up nice. So we're gonna put it back on here and get some antifreeze in it. Okay, serpentine belt's back on. Around the alternator, around the idler, water pump, crank, fan. So everything's hooked up. We'll get some antifreeze back in this. Everything is drained out of it. We gotta put antifreeze back in. So this is a concentrated version of antifreeze. So this means we'll have to mix it with water. So I'll do a gallon to make it a 50% mixture, just like you would if you went into an auto parts store to buy it. We'll just mix it with water here real quick. Thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some back in our reservoir here. As you can see, it's empty at the moment too. Basically what this does is ties around, has a hose comes on the top, and that gets too full, it dumps it back in the reservoir, or so on and so forth. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some in here. We're going to put some concentrate in. We'll put in, count a few seconds of concentrate, and then we'll add a few seconds of water. Get it up to the normal line of cold, which isn't a whole lot, but still needs to be done. We probably do have a little bit more antifreeze in here than we do water. I won't deny that. Like I said, I'd rather have just a little more antifreeze than water, just for the fact of I don't want anything to break or freeze. Alright, as you can see, got it filled up here. There's the cold range, normal range. We're a little below the normal range. The motor's still pretty warm whenever we brought it up from when we drove it up here to the garage. So I put it, not going to hurt anything to be there. So I filled her up there. We mixed it as best we could, as you can see. Like I said, probably a little more antifreeze. There a couple of years ago, I put a new one of these on. The old bottom one, the whole bottom was all cracked out. Of course, didn't hold any antifreeze. And then I had to put a new radiator in. I'll take, not new, we had it redone. I'll take putting a radiator in over having to put one of these on. Those bottom bolts, whew, royal pain. They were, I bet you the bottom bolt took me the same amount of time getting in and out as the whole rest of the project. So, a little bit of a pain. So, oh well. I figured nothing else. At least give the tractor a bath, huh? It hasn't had a bath all year, so we might as well get at least the windows cleaned off. That way you can see out. That way you guys can see out better too. A lot of times, it's pretty dirty for you guys. So let's get it cleaned off, we'll give it a bath. All right, thanks for watching today, guys. Kind of just a short little video on the tractor, getting that water pump changed, giving her a bath. And you see, the windows are shining a lot nicer now. A couple other things we just need to do with the tractor yet is, you can see one LED light. Need to put the other LED light on there. When I originally put it on, I had one bad LED light, and that one was still working. That one has now burnt out. So, something to come. Also, we're into November now. Looks like we're getting a streak of nice weather. We might be making some more hay. So, which would be great. I'd like to get, about a half a dozen more bales, give or take out. That would be nice. Kind of give us a little bit of an extra cushion. So I guess we'll see what we get. So that's the plan. So stick around. See you in the next one.